Welcome to The Explainer. You know, there's this one technology that's everywhere right now, in every conversation: artificial intelligence. Today, we're going to break it all down. You know, this quote from our source material absolutely nails it. I mean, AI isn't some sci-fi thing from the future. It's already here, woven right into the fabric of our daily lives, running behind the scenes in so many things we don't even think about. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, what exactly is AI? Then, how does it actually learn? We'll look at where it's showing up in the real world, get into the big debate surrounding it, and finally take a peek at our unwritten future with it. All right, so let's get right into it. The big question: what is this thing we call artificial intelligence?
You know, for the longest time, we've built machines to do physical work, things our bodies can't do, like lifting tons of steel. AI is different. It's about building machines that can do what our minds do: learn, reason, and solve complex problems.
And believe it or not, you're using it all the time. That search you just did on Google, that's AI. The show Netflix just recommended that you know you're going to watch, yep, also AI. Even asking Siri for the weather, it's become so normal, we don't even call it AI anymore. It's just technology.
Okay, so if this stuff has been around, why is it suddenly everywhere? What's the engine behind this massive boom we're seeing? Well, that's what we're digging into next.
The big answer here is something called machine learning. And this is a huge shift. Instead of a programmer having to write rules for every single possibility, which is impossible, they build systems that can basically teach themselves just by looking at tons and tons of data. It's a move from being explicitly programmed to, well, to learn. And the basic process is actually pretty straightforward, but it's incredibly powerful. So you give the system a ton of data, let's say thousands of pictures of cats. It then trains a model, which is just a fancy way of saying it finds all the patterns: the pointy ears, the whiskers, you get it. Then you can show it a brand new picture, and it'll make a pretty good guess. Is that a cat? And this learning can happen in a couple of ways. There's supervised learning, which is kind of like studying with an answer key. The data is all labeled, so the AI knows what the right answer is. But then you have unsupervised learning. That's more like being dropped in a library and told to just figure it out. The AI gets a huge pile of unlabeled stuff and has to find the interesting patterns all on its own. But the real game changer, the thing that kicked off this whole AI revolution we're in now, is deep learning. This uses these things called neural networks, which are, loosely inspired by how our own brains are wired up. These networks have layers upon layers, and they can spot super complex, subtle patterns in enormous amounts of data, stuff that was totally invisible to computers before.
And this isn't just theory, right? This powerful new way of learning is having a massive impact out there in the real world. We're talking about everything from the games we play to life-saving medicine.
Yeah, games have always been the ultimate test for AI. Back in '97, Deep Blue beating the world chess champion was a huge deal, but it was mostly about raw computing power. Fast forward to 2016, and you've got AlphaGo beating the world's best Go player. Now, Go is a game that's all about intuition and strategy, not just calculation. That showed that AI wasn't just crunching numbers anymore. It was starting to develop something that looked a lot like intuition. But this goes way, way beyond just games. Take medicine, for example. Our source material points to something amazing. An AI system sifted through millions of chemical compounds to discover a whole new type of antibiotic, one that can kill some of the nastiest, most drug-resistant superbugs out there. That's a huge deal. And then, of course, there's the AI that everyone is talking about right now: generative AI. These are the models that can whip up an essay, write a song, or create an unbelievably realistic picture from just a simple sentence. This is something new. AI as a creative tool, a partner even. Okay, but with all this incredible power comes some really tough questions and some very serious problems. And that brings us to this massive global debate that's happening right now about the risks. Just look at this number: 61%. That's how many Americans in a 2023 poll said they think AI poses a risk to humanity.
So this isn't some fringe idea, it's a real, widespread concern.
And one of the biggest, most immediate problems is something called algorithmic bias. See, the thing to remember is that AI learns from the data we give it. And if that data is full of our own human biases, well, the AI is going to learn them and sometimes even amplify them. This quote from ProPublica is a chilling example. An AI used in the court system was found to be biased against Black defendants. These aren't just hypotheticals. This has real, life-altering consequences.
And then there's the big one. What about our jobs? On one hand, you have studies suggesting that almost half of all jobs in the US could be automated away. That's a scary thought. But on the other hand, history shows us that new tech, like the personal computer, tends to create new kinds of jobs, not just destroy old ones. The truth is, nobody really knows which way this will go. So when you lay it all out, the list of potential risks is, well, it's pretty serious, and we have to pay attention. We're talking about everything from the immediate threat of deepfakes and misinformation to discrimination from biased algorithms, all the way to that ultimate mind-bending question: could a truly advanced AI pose a threat to our very existence?
How we deal with those risks is really the great challenge of our time. And it brings us to our final section, looking at a future that honestly is still being written. For some people working on AI, the end goal is something called superintelligence. Now, this isn't just an AI that's great at playing chess. This is a hypothetical AI that would be smarter than the most brilliant human in pretty much everything. That could lead to what some call an intelligence explosion, where things change very, very fast. So here's the bottom line. We are right at the beginning of building what could be the most powerful technology humanity has ever created. And it leaves us with this one huge unanswered question. As this thing evolves, what will it be to us? Our greatest tool? A partner? Or something else entirely? We don't have the answers yet. It's a story that we are all writing together right now.